So to make the subtraction problem easier, I added a 0 as a placeholder. Now we can subtract easily. 9 minus 0 is 9. You can't do 3 minus 6, so you have to borrow. The 5 becomes a 4. The 3 becomes a 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 1 minus 0 is 1. Then you put your decimal and line up the decimals, and then that is your final answer. So in order to do this multiplication problem, you need to line up the decimals so it'll make multiplying a lot easier. And then after that, you can just multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 7 times 4 is 28. And then 1, 2, 3 place values. So you move it 3 place values over. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point goes right there. And that is your answer. In order to do this division problem, first you have to make sure that the smaller numbers on the outside and the bigger numbers on the inside. Then you have to move the decimal over. In this problem, you only have to move it over once. Then you can just divide like normal. 2 goes into 10 5 times. Two goes into 6 3 times. Then you add your decimal, and then that's your final answer. So in order to find out what W is, instead of subtracting, we need to add. Add 5.8. Add 5.8. We need to cross that up because they're both the same. And now we're left with adding 1.2 times 5 plus 5.8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And carry it over once. And your answer is 7. In order to figure out what k is, instead of adding, we need to subtract. Subtract 3.91. Subtract 3.91. You need to cross that out because they're both the same, and then subtract as usual. In order to do the subtraction problem, we need to borrow. The 8 turns into a 7, the 0 turns into a 10, but now a 9, so that the 0 can turn to a 10, and now we can just subtract normally. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. 7 minus 3 is 4, and the 2 minus 0 is 2. Then we need to move the decimal over twice, and that is our answer. In order to figure out what y is, instead of multiplying, we need to divide by 2. We need to cross that out because they're both the same. Then all we have to do is divide
1.44 divided by 2. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Two goes into 4 twice. And so your answer is y equals 0.72. In order to figure out what n is, instead of dividing, we need to multiply. 8. And we need to multiply by 8.2. We need to cross that out because they're both the same. And then do our regular multiplying by 8.2 times 1.6. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 8 is 48, plus 1 is 49. And now we carry the decimal place over twice and add the negative sign. So our answer is n equals negative 4.92. So since the LCM is already shown for us, we don't need to do that, and we can just simply add. 9 plus 3 is 9, and you keep the denominator the same. Now we have to simplify, and we need to do it by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that is our final answer. So since the LCM isn't shown for us, we need to figure it out. So we need to figure out 2 and 24. 24, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Since 24 is already the LCM in that problem, we need to figure out the LCM in the other fraction. 2 equals 24 times 12. It's be 12, 24. And then this is your problem, 21 over 24 minus 12 over 24, which equals 21 minus 12 over 24, which should make your answer 9 over 24. So you're going to be multiplying 1/4 times negative 2/3. So you write it out 1/4 times negative 2 over 3. And then that equals 1 times negative 2 over 4 times 3. And then cross those out, make that a 1, negative 1, and make that a 2. So makes it 1 over 6. The negative sign, and that's your answer. So in order to do this problem, we need to write the reciprocal. So we rewrite the problem 3/4. We add a multiplication sign, and then we write the reciprocal of 6/7, which is 7/6. Then we do 3 times 7 over 4 times 6. And 3 can go into 6 twice, and 3 can go into 3 once. And so 7 times 1 is 7, and 4 times 2 is 8. So your final answer is 7/8. So to do this problem, we have to subtract 1/6 from both sides. Or no, only one side. Then you go m equals 5/6 minus 1/6 equals 5 minus 1 over 6, which equals 4/6. To do this problem, we have to add 1/5 on both sides. Cross that out. N equals 3/5 plus 1/5 equals 3 plus 1 over 5, which equals 4 over 5. To do this problem, we have to write the reciprocal of 1/5, which is 5 over 1. Cross it out. Then you x equals 4 over 1 times 5 over 1, which equals 4 times 5 over 1 times 1, and that equals 20 over 1, which makes your answer 20. To do this problem, we have to write the reciprocal of 6 over 1, which is 1 over 6. And we go y equals 1/2 times 1/6, which equals 1 times 1 over 2 times 6, which equals 1/12.